This video about to get very surgical, so stay with me. Alright? Bruh. Bakanotnice really went and sacrificed himself for Drake, bro. That's what we just witnessed. That's exactly what we just witnessed. We witnessed Bakanotnice sacrifice himself and his own reputation for Drake. Initially, it came off as just, another way to Bakanotnice to get his reputation back intact. No. This was a sacrificial move that I'm not surprised was most likely approved by Drake. Possibly even orchestrated by Drake. Okay? Before we get into all that, I just want to let y'all know the first episode to the podcast has officially been shot. And if you love hip hop and you love hearing people love hip hop and you love, laughing and just having a good old time, you're going to love this podcast. This first episode to the podcast. It was natural. It's with some homies that I've known since high school. We've been listening. We were searching for hip hop music. Bro, y'all gonna love it. I swear y'all gonna love it. Okay? But anyway, Bakanotnice sacrificed himself for Drake. Now, what we have to go back and recognize is this all stems from the interview from DJ Academics and DJ Vlad. Okay? Where DJ Vlad essentially snitches on Drake. You can go watch that video that I made. Where DJ Vlad essentially snitches on Drake by acknowledging the fact that when Drake used to live in the Hidden Hills, they was doing some wild stuff that more than likely was covered up by money, etc., whatever. Okay? And we all know DJ Vlad is not going to go on camera. First of all, not that often. He's not going to go on camera like that. But DJ Vlad went on camera. He went on camera, bro, and said these things. That's how you know the operation's probably already, or most likely already begun. DJ Vlad has never been criticized for his credibility, ever. We criticize DJ Vlad because he's probably a federal informant that has helped to indict many people, okay? He's never been criticized for his credibility as to what he says. You see what I'm saying? DJ Vlad is very well versed in getting people to say things that incriminate themselves, and to have him get on camera and say what he said about Drake, it lets you know that these things have probably already taken place, okay? Now, that video and other people's commentary as well started a wildfire where everybody started talking about this, okay? And all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden during this wildfire, here comes Bakanotnice talking about, where I'm from, you got to have the paperwork to talk about, to say these things and boom, boom. Now, my thing is this. Why would you get in an interview and tell people that if you don't have paperwork, you're not able to call me Edo or a trafficker or whatever? Knowing that there's paperwork out there. Knowing that there's articles that date all the way back to 2015 that address the fact that you forced a woman into prostitution, okay? And you pled guilty to assaulting her. You see what I'm saying? Now, the problem is a lot of people, including me, were looking at this like, oh, he just trying to get himself back into good graces, but you're not really thinking too smart about it. But no, I think it's a little deeper than that. Because this Hidden Hills situation goes so much deeper than we thought, bro. And I think Drake is attempting to cover this up by sending out Bakanotnice on a dummy mission. Because what did we all do? We all started covering Bakanotnice in that case. Something that was like, bro, it's right there. We even said it ourselves. Why would you say that? And it's right on the internet. Now we know why he was saying it. To get the stories away from the Hidden Hills. They figured if we get Bakanotnice to say something, that the content creators will then turn around and stop talking about the Hidden Hills. No, you've been sadly mistaken. You've been sadly mistaken, my boy. We had something to say about Bakanotnice, but now I think it's time to take a couple steps further into this Hidden Hill situation. And that's where I want to give a shout out to, in my opinion, like one of the better YouTubers on this app. You see what I'm saying? And that's DeVille. Okay. I just did the collective with him on Curtis King's show. And looking through the content, bro, this dude's ability to break things down and you know, just, I'm always entertained by people who have a interesting perspective or mindset that causes them to come to interesting conclusions. I love that type of shit. And that's exactly what this channel is. He pointed out the fact that in Champagne Moments, right, Rick Ross has on a Hidden Hills hoodie or jacket. And this is a diss track to Drake. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You see what I'm saying? This Hidden Hills thing has been a thing. So the fact that DJ Vlad is coming out and saying it on camera, the shit is already on a roll. It's already in operation. You see what I'm saying? Now, we can cover whatever we can cover, but we also got to pay attention to when they try to knock us off course. Because another thing that happened when the Bakanotnice, all of a sudden, some Drake leaks come out. Some Drake songs start leaking on the internet all of a sudden. And we know that Drake has a history of leaking his own stuff. During the battle, he leaked the push-ups diss. He leaked the push-ups diss to see what people thought, and then he dropped it. Even going as far as to change the beat. You see what I'm saying? I think he also dropped these leaks in order to cover up the Hidden Hill situation, distract people from the Hidden Hill situation as well. Okay? Now, I'm not even finna go over the song because I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of whack. But this brings me to a greater point. This just shows you the master manipulation tactics that Drake is willing to deploy in order to protect himself. Okay? Curtis King brought up an incredible point to me while we was on the collective, and he said, if you notice in the Heart Part 6, Drake doesn't try to protect anybody in OVO. Drake doesn't try to protect anybody but himself in OVO. You see what I'm saying? And that's a great representation of what the type of person that Drake has been rumored to be. You see what I'm saying? Why so many people don't rock with him is because he's usually in it for himself. And in order to get whatever he wants, he will sacrifice anybody. He will destroy anybody in order to get what he wants in his games. And this is another example of that. By sending Bakanotnice out there and allowing him to say this stuff, even if you didn't send him out there, you know Bakanotnice had to get the okay first. Okay? If you send Bakanotnice out and he's saying all these things, bro, to allow him to bring all of our knowledge and our digging to cover his situation, it's damn near a humiliation ritual. Damn near. That's what it looked like. Not saying this literally is, but I'm like, bro, it might as well be. He just put himself on the fire of the line so we could all dissect what went on with his case. And now it looked even crazier than it did before. You see what I'm saying? But Drake allowed this because Drake didn't want this Hidden Hill situation to get out. Okay? Bro, Drake is in a lot of trouble. And if we understand, bro, everybody has to understand. There's still some people that will not put certain things, that I'm not putting nothing past this guy. I think he will do anything in his power to maintain the situation, to control the narrative. He's in a very desperate situation. And I think this is a perfect example of how desperate that is. By having Bakanotnice go out there on a dummy mission to distract from the Hidden Hills. And that also makes you wonder, how bad is the Hidden Hills situation? You see what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar said the embassy about to get raided. It might not be the embassy first. We don't know what's going to happen. But it seems like more and more and more things are starting to unravel and come out. And don't get me started on I'm going to do a separate video on that one. But yo, Drake in big trouble. Okay? And we're going to talk about that in a different video. But bruh, it's not looking good. DJ Vlad just opened a can of worms. Okay? A crazy can of worms. And the fact that content creators like myself and others jumped on it to talk about it, we've caused a wildfire through social media, on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And this should allow you to understand the power of our creation, the power of our words. We are the media, okay? That's the reality of it. To understand that and to use it, okay? And recognize that we have the opportunity to clear up the bullshit. We have the opportunity to help people see through the fog. We have the opportunity to do these things to build on ourselves and help ourselves see through the fog as well. Okay? We don't got no super high up you know what I'm saying, connections and one all that. You feel me? We just in the lab doing our work. You know what I'm saying? And we caused the wildfire, and to understand that's the type of power that we have. You see what I'm saying? To use that to protect the culture, to protect hip hop, to protect the people that are attempting to protect hip hop, and break down the lies, break down the falsehoods, and get the truth to the people. Or at least get people to start thinking about the truth. And maybe we don't know the truth. Maybe y'all don't know the truth. But if I start talking about this type of stuff, there's going to be somebody that's watching this that's going to put the 2 and 2 together and probably give us the truth. You feel me? And that's the importance of keeping the authentic platform. You see what I'm saying? But I want to thank y'all for coming. What's it called? If y'all, it's about to get surgical shirts up. You know what I'm saying? The shop is up on my YouTube. I think you can scroll down on this video itself and see that the shirt's on sale. Some shirts have been bought, so I got to re-up, but there's still some shirts out there for y'all to go grab. And also the podcast, we're dropping it tomorrow. I think y'all gonna love the podcast, bro. It felt natural. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel nothing. It just felt like we was in there having a good time, talking about music, talking about all types of stuff. We got deep. It was a lot of great conversation in there, bro. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, go check that out. And also, if you love storytelling, like, you know what I'm saying, Brenda's Got a Baby by Tupac or Sing About Me by Kendrick Lamar, I think you're going to love the vocal cords of a broken woman. It take 3 minutes of your time to go check it out. See if you love it. See if you don't. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. But also, it's about to get surgical shirts are out too. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Excited to drop the podcast tomorrow. Stay tuned.